Hey Nishant, welcome to WebEngage. My name is Chirag. I lead the content marketing and special projects team here at WebEngage. For all the viewers who are viewing this for the first time, if you could just introduce yourself, what do you do currently, and what's your background like, that would give us a start for the rest of the conversation.
Hi Chirag, nice to meet you. Having a video call with you. So I work with CASHe. If you don't know about CASHe, CASHe is into small ticket size loans through a loan app. It is a fintech basically,
Mhm.
and it is very tech driven. And we have our own criteria of generating scores. So I do the marketing automation at CASHe
Oh,
and
nice.
help drive all the business at CASHe.
So, before CASHe, what was your career graph like? What's your education like? And I know I see a guitar, so I know you're into music, but what is that real Nishant like behind CASHe?
The real Nishant is actually behind me. So you won't believe I was into sales before joining CASHe. I was into hardcore door-to-door sales, convincing people to buy credit cards, American Express credit cards. Since it was American Express, it was a little easier compared to the rest of the credit cards. But yes, it was practically door-to-door selling.
Wow. So I know, there is no institute in the world that actually teaches you marketing automation, retention, customer engagement. And I know you come from a sales background. So how did this transition into marketing automation eventually happen for you?
So I always wanted to get into creating graphic visuals, creating emailers, how the SMSs are designed. So even when back then when I was working with American Express, if you've ever heard of CF Frost kind of a name, or Aditya Call. I always used to ask my boss, who is this Aditya Call? Does he work with American Express? They were like, no, they work with an agency. It's called Leo Burnett. Okay, maybe I would want to be there someday and I would have my name as, a marketing activity kind of a structure and my name would be embossed there. So that's what I figured out where you need to be if you want to work into such kind of places. And soon I realized that sales is not my cup of tea,
I mean,
convincing
I
people and
started
lying to people.
honestly, even I started with sales, and I soon realized that sales is not what I want to eventually do. And then I transitioned into marketing, and now I've been managing full funnel marketing for the last 5 6 years now. So having said that, you must have had a lot of learnings along the way.
That's right.
If you could go back in time and teach your younger
Mhm.
self one thing that you learned very late in your career, what would that be?
So being in sales, I realized every human being is so different. A person might be earning a bomb, a person might be earning peanuts,
Hmm.
but there is some similarity between humans, yet all the human beings are different. Since I was approaching their doors every day, somebody would just kick you out of their house. Somebody would get you in, ask for your meal, ask if you had water throughout your day.
Hmm.
So that's how you learn and that's how you become confident meeting new people, meeting people with different roles. It could be a security guard, it could be the CEO of some big, huge MNC. So
Nice.
getting that confidence out of you, I think sales is something which everyone should do because it gets you so much exposure, makes you meet so many human beings. And I think this world is all about human beings, right?
True, true. So I believe sales is like that hostel life of your professional career. You should go to a hostel and live at least 1 or 2 years there,
Of course.
and at least a year or two in sales. Get your ego and attitude out of your way, and that's the
Right.
only way you can propel in your career.
That's
Uh,
so true, Chirag. Get your ego out of the way because when you get humiliated 10 times a day, you actually become like water. You put me anywhere, I'll be like water. I'll take its shape.
Yeah, yeah. And eventually our entire career is all about sales, right? We're selling something to somebody every day, maybe to a manager
Hmm.
who's selling a campaign idea. When we apply for a
Right.
job, we're selling our CV and our services.
Hmm.
When we're talking to somebody, we're selling our ideas. So sales is very important, is what I feel. And a big hats off to all the people who've been able to crack their sales career, are doing well.
Yes. Yes.
So with that said, from the past coming to the future, right? If there is one thing that you could change, in terms of, the people that you work with, the processes, or even something that is very personal, right? What is that one thing that you would change that would probably sort the next 10 years of your career?
So, given a chance, I would switch my career altogether. Maybe become a musician, become a guitarist, because that has been my passion over the last 10 years, or maybe when I was in school.
I do see a guitar in the background. I'd love to know a story, how it all
Okay.
started, what happened.
So, my wife keeps reminding me, I got married 2 years back, and we've been dating for a long time now, more than a decade. So
Wow.
she reminds me that whenever we, as a band, we used to play at Fest in Delhi and in Bombay,
Mhm.
we actually used to take the entire stage for an hour. And that was the first salary I'd received, I remember.
Wow.
So I used to tell her that, when I grow up, I'll be a big guitarist. I'll be playing in a band and maybe getting famous. And I used to say that, I don't really care about money, but this is like my passion and this is what I love to do. And I'm happy when I'm doing this.
Nice, nice. So it's
Yes,
never too late to start. I mean, you can obviously start right now and probably become really famous and really big. And I'll be one of those proud people to say, hey, I interviewed Nishant at some point in
right.
time. I want to say
Absolutely.
so with that said, we come to the next leg of the segment, which is never have I ever.
Hmm.
I'll ask you a series of questions. You can choose to answer them or choose to not answer them because these
Okay.
are a little tricky. And we usually do this in an offline setup where we pop a couple of beers and we have a really candid conversation around it.
So can I have a sip of coffee before we
Yes,
head to the...
yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
Yeah, Chirag.
my first question to you. Never have I ever created a failed campaign and then blamed it on others.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you have?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. And anything that backfired, any anecdotes that come to mind?
So when I started initially with WebEngage, that time DLT template was not there.
Mm-hmm.
So we did not, it wasn't required to upload the template.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just write whatever you want to on the SMS and send it out.
Okay.
And I missed a little the's and the ers.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
wouldn't
And
blame it on.
so I actually blamed it on the content team. This was the content I'd received, and I just copy pasted it, and I just joined the company.
Nice.
So like my heart went like beating really fast. I'm like, what to do, what to do, what do I do? So I actually asked the guy. He's like, okay, so it's fine. You can put it on me. We'll
Mm.
discuss later. I'm like, oh, what a generous fellow.
Wow. Nice. So coming to failures, right? Never have I ever sent a campaign with failed personalization tags.
No, I have never done that.
Never done that. Wow.
No.
So you believe in like extensively testing your campaigns and making sure everything
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Because of the mistakes I had done, like in those initial days. So
Mm,
even when I teach fellows who just joined, I tell them to just check your campaign thoroughly, do every tests of every block, whether it's email, push, SMS. Doesn't matter if it takes you more than an hour, like even an hour more.
mm.
But when you're sending something like that to lakhs of people, it shouldn't be wrong.
Have any of your campaigns ever backfired? Maybe, screenshots floating all over social media or something like that.
Uh, you can say that backfire in the sense, suppose today is Diwali, and that Diwali message is still going on for maybe another 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Yes, that has happened with me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
So everybody in my team was like, "Oh, we are receiving this message of Diwali. Are you aware of this?" I'm like, "Oh, yes, yes. I need to change that." So yeah, that happened once.
Super. Never have I ever tweaked my reports to save my ass.
No, I have never done
Never
that.
done that.
No, no.
Okay, super. I believe you're a fond aficionado when it comes to data, and you believe that data never lies. Is that so, or
That is true. And our data is somewhere connected. Like we, like in our team, in CASHe, like entire CASHe is data driven, right? So if you have the data, I have the data.
Oh, okay.
And so what I do is I handle campaigns for every department. It could be the HR department, it could be the collections, it could
Mhm,
be obviously the growth which I work in. So apart from my own work, I execute campaigns for different departments as well. So they send me the data and I just push out the campaigns. And I can tell them, okay, boss, the performance on this campaign was zero.
mhm.
There may be something wrong with your data
Okay.
because it's your data.
Okay. Got it, got it. So you have an escape
Yes.
route there. But
Yes.
one thing that I picked up very peculiar here is one of the reasons why CASHe is really successful today is because you guys do not have siloed data, right? And siloed data actually costs millions of dollars to
Hmm.
company because things that you have may not be visible to some other team, right? And when you're working with consumers at scale, every team needs to have that visibility for them to make better
Hmm.
informed decisions, and that eventually sort of corroborates into the overall customer experience. uh,
Hmm.
so kudos to that, kudos on achieving that.
Yep.
Never have I ever sprayed a campaign to achieve my month end numbers.
Sprayed a campaign.
Yeah,
No,
just
no,
picked up
never done that as
a
well.
segment and just sent out a campaign, blast campaign.
So that usually never happens because we always have a planned, a way out how to achieve the numbers. But yes, during the last days, it is not me who sprays the campaign. It is a management actually.
uh,
So they would come up to us and say, "सब पे SMS कर दो, सब पे push notification कर दो." It should be always push
Nice. So obviously,
that way.
this is a cheaper channel. I mean, it's practically free. So why
It
not?
is free, so why not just do a
Yeah.
whole ways push?
Cool. So your management asks you to run a spray campaign, which brings me to the next one, which is
Yeah.
never have I ever picked a bone with my manager because he asked me to run a stupid campaign or a campaign that did not make sense.
I must have. I must have.
You must have.
Because now I've been running campaigns so often that I have the right to say, okay, no, boss, this is wrong. You should not go ahead with this. This is
And,
just a waste of money.
and who eventually wins in this argument? Is it you? Is it him? Or is
So
it?
they put it
Uh,
on me. They're like, okay, ये कह रहा है तो इसको करने दो जो इसको
oh,
चाहिए.
nice, nice. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you don't believe in let's agree to disagree types.
No, there's no point wasting money. And when the bill comes and the invoice comes from WebEngage, it's on my head. So I have to take care of it, no? Like just to bring it down.
Super, super. So,
Yeah.
Nishant, with that said, thank you so much for taking out your time and agreeing to do this. I look forward to connecting with you offline. I do have a lot of follow-up questions that I'll take,
Hmm. Hmm.
meet in person and off the
Yep.
camera.
Yeah.
Uh, but until then, thank you so much, and I wish the best for you and Kashi.
Likewise, Chirag, it was a lovely conversation we had.
Same
We
here.
should definitely meet offline and, you know,
Absolutely, absolutely.
take this further and discuss a little more.
Definitely. But until
Yes.
then, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy. I look forward to connecting with you soon.
You too. You too, Chirag. Bye. See you.